Well, here with John Coleman, who's taken charge of Gillingham Football Club's first team. John, firstly, welcome.
Thank you.
I think you've managed here previously on a number of occasions.
Yeah.
Just give us your first thoughts having taken over at Priestfield.
I'm delighted. I'm delighted to be involved. We're such a big club, really, and a club that has got ambitions to go higher. Certainly well run. I think people don't see it. You know, people unless you get inside. I mean, I've been lost about 4 times in the building already. So people don't realise the complexities of how well this club is run and how their ambitions are. And on the outside, looking in, you don't see that. So you come here and, you know, me coming here as an opposition manager, I'll just go down there into the changing rooms, be on the coach, I might have a drink with the manager, and then you don't see all this side of it. And everything's getting put in place. The important thing is that you put it all in place on the pitch, and that's something that, you know, I know the fans are craving. And if you look about the area, and the area I've come from, Liverpool, growing up, quite similar areas, you know, suffered quite similar problems, and football is a release for people. And for them 90 minutes on a Saturday, we've got to show the fans that we're one of them, and we're going to be playing this the way they want to be seen. They want to see football getting played, and I think that's high energy. I think that's what the fans want, and you can't guarantee results. You know, there's 1,000,001 things that can go wrong on a football pitch that can stop you getting the result. But the one thing, if you want to be successful at one thing, you can work as hard as you can, and you can try and play as exciting as you can. And that's certainly no disrespect to the previous managers who've been here, because it's unfortunate that for me to be here, somebody else has to suffer. And you know, I've been at the other end of that, of suffering, when other people have benefited from me. But I want to deliver to the fans what I think I want to watch as a fan, and that's players playing with their hearts on the sleeve and giving it their all for the football club, which is the minimum you should expect from a football player. You don't always see it.
So you just touched on it there, but for the fans who hopefully will come on Saturday, what is a John Coleman Gillingham team going to look like, hopefully? Well,
hopefully, you know, if they don't play the way I want them to play, other players will be playing the way I want them to play. It'll be definitely on the front foot. It will be attacking football. We're going to try and win every game we play, and that might mean being vulnerable. But I don't mind being vulnerable if there's a right reason for being vulnerable, and that's trying to win a game of football. I want us to make chances. I want to be entertained myself. You know, first and foremost, I'm a football fan. And, you know, I was lucky growing up throughout the years as a youngster. I supported Liverpool, who were, you know, dominant in the 80s. And the late 70s when I was a kid, going to the games. And, you know, and I've seen various incarnations of what good teams look like, and they've enthralled me, the likes of Alex Ferguson's teams. So I want my teams to play attacking football, score goals, but show the fans that they care. Show them that they want to win. Show them that they'll do everything in their power to win. And if they don't win, they're getting carried off on the shield. And that's the minimum I expect from players.
Well, you brought the sun with you. That's a good thing. You know a couple of the players as well, John. That must help. I think the likes of Jack Nolan, yeah. Josh Andrews as well. Does that help in a way?
I think it does. The fact that I know their football and traits already. I know what they're good at, and I know what they can improve on. But it certainly won't be a case of they'll be the teacher's pets. You couldn't be further from the truth. I think probably Jack knows he's in for, you know, what he's going to be in for. But everyone's got a chance. You know, there's no preconceived ideas that I've got. I've watched already. I've watched a lot of footage. I have, you know, been fortunate enough to watch a lot of League Two football this season while I've been out of work, and I have watched Gillingham a couple of times this season. And I know there's areas that I think they can improve in, but I also know that there is areas that are very, very positive, and that's, you know, testament to how well the previous managers and the recruiters have done.
Having watched a few of our games, what in the short term are you looking to change quickly? Is there anything, one aspect that you believe needs changing?
Well, the obvious thing is winning, isn't it? But no, I think we've got to be more of a threat. I think we've got to look like we're gonna hurt teams. And the big thing for me is, I've come here when I've dreaded coming here. I've also come here when, you know, I think I've lost more than I've won here. I've also come here where I fancy my chances. So I've always been of the ilk that your home is your fortress, and you don't let burglars invade your home, you know, and that's what I class the opposition as, and I want people to dread coming here. And I want my players to play in a manner that makes people don't want to play against them, and that I want to press teams. I want to feel as though they can't breathe, and I want us to entertain our fans and have lots of attacks. And the more you can play in and out of the opposition's box and have shots on goals and get the crowd going, the more chance you got to win in the game.
What was it about coming here as an opposition manager that you dreaded so much? And I guess you want to try and create that environment now you'll be in the home dugout.
There's lots of things. And it's a tight pitch as well. People don't appreciate that. It is a tight pitch. A bit like Akins then, and then just going back years ago, they weren't the most salubrious surroundings. And sometimes you just didn't like the opposition because of the way they played. And it can be, when you know it's going to be tough and they pose problems that you're going to find hard to solve, they were the reasons why you don't want to, well, not you don't want to come here, you embrace every challenge that you've got, and you come here trying to win. And I've always come here trying to win. I haven't very often, but I have in the past. But I want our players to believe that whoever comes to this stadium, we should be winning. And that doesn't matter what league they're in. We managed to get that at Akins, where we didn't fear any big teams. And whilst myself and Jimmy have got a breath in our body, we won't fear anybody, particularly at home.
Talk to me about Jimmy, because obviously he's been your assistant for a number of years. Just talk to me about his character, what he brings to the party, because I guess some assistants, sometimes they can go overlooked. What does he bring to your management structure? Well,
you know what, I've known Jimmy. I played with Jimmy when he was 17, I was 19.
Not long ago then.
Yeah. And I've seen Jimmy develop over the years as a coach. So when we first started out in management, which was about 27 years ago, 28 years ago, I did all the coaching, and as it's gone on, it's sort of like flip-flopped, and so I can take a step back now, and I've seen him flourish as a coach, and he hasn't had the credit he deserves in the manner that he goes about his business, and the fact that he studies the opposition, his breakdown and his analysis of the opposition. And now we didn't have a first team analyst, which we have got here, which is a real big help for Jimmy, but his studying of the opposition and then finding out ways to try and exploit their weaknesses and avoid their strengths. And then the way he goes about it on the training pitch, and is being able to spot things on the pitch as well. I don't think he's had the credit he deserves, and you know, possibly that's a flaw in this country, is they don't recognise good English coaches, you know, or they're not willing to praise young English coaches. But I've seen him develop over the years, and it's made my role a lot easier, but it's also made mine more refined, so I can now spend time looking at things that I really need to focus on. And I can spend more time watching how people train, getting to know their traits, getting to know what their strengths are, because I'm not overly involved in running the session, even though I do step in. And what I've found now is that when I do step in and make my point, it adds a lot of weight, because I don't do it very often. And I think sometimes less can be more.
Burning question, I suppose, many Gillingham fans will want to know is, of the conversations you've had, and I appreciate they've not had many so far with Joe perhaps, ins and outs, the transfer window is open. Are you keen to work with the players you've got at the moment before you make any decisions, or have you got little tweaks that you think need to be made and you've still already got people in your mind?
I'd be lying if I said I didn't have people in my mind, because as a football person, you know, I was doing a little bit on the recruitment side for Chesterfield, and I've had a laugh with Paul Coote this morning. He's saying, don't be pitching any of our players that we had lined up, or you had lined up for us. But I'd be lying if I said that. But what I will say is that every single player who's here at the moment will get an opportunity. Might get an opportunity in the first team to play, but they'll certainly get an opportunity to impress and to state their claim for a starting shirt. And ultimately, it'll be down to them. It won't be down to me. You know, I'll make the decision, but they'll be the ones who it's in their hands to show that they want to play for this club, that they want to be successful for this club. And we're going to have to play a certain way, and that might be different than what they're already playing or what they already have encountered. Some will embrace it, some won't. But we'll be playing the way we want to play because it's been very, very successful for us over the years. And I think the way we do play does enthrall crowds, and that's what ultimately we want to do with Gillingham to the end of the season.
What is your objective between now and the end of the season? Do you still believe that this club can climb into one of those playoff places or even more, or are you very much game at a time and see where it takes us?
One of the big things that annoys me in football is apathy and people just not caring. So if I was just to come here just to see out the 5 months, I wouldn't be here. And that's just a fact, I wouldn't be here. If I didn't think that the club could be successful. And if you want to look at any kind of models, you can look at how well Doncaster catapulted up the league last year, how well Salford have catapulted up the league this season. And I firmly believe we can do that. You know, the start of the season, top of the league, pretty similar to the start of last season as well. So we know that it can be done. Whether we will do it or not, that's a different matter. I'm not going to be making bold statements that we're going to do this and we're going to do that. What I will say is we'll be doing everything in our power to win games of football. And it starts and ends on Saturday, to be honest, till the next game. And then that starts and ends on that one. And the minute you get ahead of yourselves and saying, we're going to do this and we're going to do that, our first objective is to win a game of football. And keep that on our minds all the while. That's the eyes that we keep on the prize, and the prize is the next game. And this week, the prize will be beating Fleetwood. And once we get on the grass with the players, or it might be Astro, depending on the weather, but once we get on that, the players in no uncertain terms will know that our build-up starts tomorrow with a view to trying to win the game on Saturday. And as I said before, there's no guarantee that you can win a game. But there's a guarantee that if you change the parameters of success, which is hard work, which is discipline, which is supporting each other, which is positivity, we can all achieve them. So that's what we're going out to do. And then if we can get the byproduct of that, which is a win, everyone goes home happy.
And just finally, how pleased are you that your reign starts with a home fixture on Saturday? I think you've actually got back-to-back home games to start, and it'd be great to have a bumper crowd, wouldn't it, to back the boys?
It will do, and the fans here, you know yourself, they can be brilliant here, and when they get behind the team, they are hard to play against. Sometimes you feel as though you're playing against the fans. I'm delighted that we're playing at home, and you can't choose the fixtures, but what you can do is you can make the most of your fixtures, and whether it's home or away, you'll find that our style doesn't really change. We're going out to try and win a game. And if I was going to any team tomorrow or Saturday, I'd be going to try and devise a plan to win. I wouldn't be trying to cover my arms over my head and not get battered. I'd be going to try and win a game of football, and I think that's the very least what football supporters deserve.
John, welcome to the club and thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.